more. Welcome to our next movie review. Here we are in, I think, our fifth week of quarantine, and hopefully you haven't run out of good movies to watch, and you're still able to find new ways to enjoy your time with your family, with your friends. I highly encourage our students to get together and watch some movies together and discuss them, and not just make it a means of isolating yourself but use it as a way to connect to others, especially people who might be feeling lonely at this time. Movies are a great way to connect, to give you something to talk about, something to laugh about, something to cry about, maybe. Who knows? So this week's movie in review is going to be The Blind Side. This is a 2009 release distributed by Warner Brothers, and more than likely you've probably seen it before. This was very, very popular when it came out, and what a heartwarming story. Our main character is a young boy, and he's growing up in a very poor neighborhood, and he gets into this nice Christian school, kind of like Bishop Moore. It looked like they're in a different part of the country than us, but so they get into this nice. He gets into this nice school, and the hope is that he's going to play football because he's really big. His name's Big Mike, and he's homeless. He doesn't have a home to go to. His mother is dealing with drugs and alcohol in her life. The rest of his family's kind of scattered. And we find these things out about him as the movie goes on because he's also very secretive. He doesn't let a lot of people into his world. In fact, he doesn't really even speak until pretty far into the movie. And he is brought into the home of a family that goes to the school as well, especially by the other main character played by Sandra Bullock. She's basically a designer, kind of super mom kind of figure, and she just can't turn away from helping this young man and giving him a chance and giving him a hand up. And I think one of the best lines in the movie, she says something to the effect that, like, I'm not changing him, he's changing me. So what a great story. And it's based on real life. This is based on a true story of Michael Orr, who went on to play for, I think, the Baltimore Ravens, I believe, um, as a left tackle. So, wow, what a great, heartwarming story. I highly suggest that you watch it. And it'll really connect you back to what matters. I want to focus on one thing in particular in the movie. So there's a lot of symbolism regarding doors and windows. You'll see it used by the filmmakers almost probably, gosh, every like 5 minutes. There is some kind of pivotal scene where there's a window in between a character who's trying to reach out to Michael and Michael himself, or there's a door. That like a physical door that he has to pass through, or in one case when he goes to pick up his clothes from his house, he walks up the door and it's locked and there's an eviction notice on it because his mother has left. His mother's been kicked out of her apartment and he doesn't even know where she is. And so we see this montage of doors and windows. Um, when Michael gets picked up by the family, he's walking down the street and he's walking in the rain, it's all dark, and the dad, he rolls down the window and he calls out to Michael. Um, at one point they go to a restaurant and they're eating at the restaurant, and as they're leaving, Michael goes back inside and he's hugging someone inside, one of the waiters, and the family's looking at him through a window. And then he comes back out and he tells them that was my brother and I haven't seen him in years. And so it's just a very powerful way that I think the filmmakers are showing us that even a lot of times when we think of putting up barriers, we think of people who are mean or angry, and they just put people up. But this character, he's so loving and kind, but he still has a lot of walls. And instead of walls that you can't see through, he has like windows. So it's a barrier you can't pass through, but you can see through it. So he's a very honest person. He's a very forthcoming person, but yet he still maintains distance from others. And in the very last scene, pay attention to windows. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but there's a window in the last scene, and it's really cool what the filmmakers did there. So this is an opportunity to think about What ways, even if you're a really, really good person, what ways do you still have walls up or windows up where you allow people to see who you are and you're honest and you're good, but you aren't necessarily letting them into your life to love you and care for you in a deep way? I think that's one of the benefits of this time in quarantine is that we get to focus on our relationships, either the ones that we're missing or the ones that are close by us, the people we're kind of trapped with in our homes. How am I letting people into my life, into my heart? Because that's what God wants for us. Our hearts are not made to be an echo chamber, they're made to be filled with the voices of friends and family. So that's my wish for you. Enjoy this movie, The Blind Side. Thanks. See you later.